Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to the Owlery. Today is day 29 of Vlogmas and this is probably I really like doing this video, but it's also really dreaded because then I get all the hate about, not liking books that everyone else enjoyed. So this is my worst 10 books of 2016. And again, I guess I just want to preface this by saying just because I don't have the same opinion as you does not mean that I am dissing your preferences or I'm a bad person or saying that you're a bad person. We just have different what's it called that I'm looking for? Preferences. We just have different reading tastes. And, I wouldn't unsubscribe to somebody just because they hated my favorite book, and I hope that you guys wouldn't either. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get started because this one's a doozy. I really did not like Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. So, for somebody who, Rainbow Rowell pretty much only writes contemporary novels, and for this first fantasy that she wrote, I was not impressed. Just every 2 seconds I was like, she's taking everything from Harry Potter and I don't know, I just didn't like it. Like every 2 seconds I was like, that's Harry Potter and that's Harry Potter and that's basically Harry Potter and this is basically Harry Potter and I don't know if it was meant to be that way. It just wasn't for me at all. I really didn't enjoy it. I tried, I really did. I was actually looking forward to reading this book because I hear that Rainbow Rowell is an amazing writer, and the fact that she finally wrote a fantasy book, because I don't read contemporary or don't really like contemporary, I was really excited to actually try her book, and I was not impressed. Next is Map of Bones by Francesca Haig, and this is the second book in the Fire Sermon series, or the Omega series, I don't remember what it's called, and I loved the Fire Sermon. This is about, it's a dystopian fantasy kind of society. It's been almost 2 years since I've read The Fire Sermon, so I don't really remember, but I remember reading Map of Bones and I was not impressed with it at all. It just really, the writing style got really bad. It diverged from the plot that I was really excited for in the first book, and I was just not impressed with this series at all anymore. Next is Dream House by Marcia Bizognin, and this is a mystery thriller, psychological thriller book that was written by a YouTuber. So this is the first fiction book that I've read from a YouTuber, and it was so confusing and so bad. The same thing kept happening over and over and over again. And this is the only book. It's not a series. It's a standalone. And the ending was so weird and unclear. And I don't know. It was just the weirdest. I almost had a book fall off my lap. I'm sorry. It was just the weirdest book I've probably ever read in my entire life, and not in a good way, in a cringy, really bad way. It's one of those scary, it was a tad scary, it did kind of freak me out a bit at sometimes, but it was so confusing. This book is only 212 pages too, so it was definitely not long enough. Could have used more words in there, and it's one of those really, really bad horror novels that you're just ooh, this is really, really bad. I guess if that was happening to me in real life, I'd be really freaked out. But the actors and everything are just horrible. And it's kind of like what this was. It was just super, super bad. Next is Bookish Lee Ever After, and I don't even remember the name of the author, but basically this is a contemporary, and I got it off of Netgalley, and I gave this contemporary a try because it was about a girl who is basically a fangirl. It's kind of like Fangirl, except for she's in high school, and but it just ended up being really bad. It was super high school drama, super cringy. It was just not what I was hoping at all. I was really hoping that this main character was cool and, confident and proud to be a fangirl. It just wasn't anything that I was expecting, and I was very, very disappointed in. And half the time the girl doesn't even talk about her fangirly side. It's all about boys and kissing boys and going out with boys, and that's really all she talked about. And it was just that was so bad. Then was AntiDarkened by Kirsten White, and I was so bummed that I didn't like this book, you guys. Everything about this book should be something that I'm obsessed with. It's historical, it's a gender swap story, and I just love those types of books, and both of those things being put together was just yes, I'm so excited for this, and it was so bad. I was so not impressed with this story at all. I there were enough things about this story that I'm going to be reading the second book in the series just out of curiosity. I also was in a reading slump at the time, so it was probably like way more negative than I should have been. So I might have actually given this book a 3 or 3.5 stars instead of the 2 stars that I gave it. I was just like, this was probably my most disappointing book of the year because I was really looking forward to it. Another thing that might have contributed to it is that I had really high expectations because this was such a good book, or like I was expecting it to be such a good book, and it wasn't, and that was like a huge bummer. This one again is gonna be a doozy, you guys, and it's City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. All of them I did not enjoy. I will be DNFing this series after this one. I just was trying to get through this so that I could get to the Infernal Devices, which I also didn't enjoy. I actually made this list of the top 10 worst books on my list before I finished Infernal Devices, so I might actually include that one in here too, but I really didn't like this. I don't know. I don't like the Shadowhunter world. I feel like if I just keep talking, you guys are just going to be clicking unsubscribe, unsubscribe over and over and over again. But it's just not for me. I'm not a big fan of urban fantasy. I don't like vampires or werewolves or whatever else, Nephilim and all that stuff that's in this. It's just not the book for me, unfortunately. And I know how loved Cassandra Clare is and the Mortal Instruments is, and it's just, I wanted to like it. I really did. I wanted to fangirl with all of you guys and be excited for the next Shadowhunters book to come out, but I just can't. Then is The Geography of You and Me, again, another book that I don't remember the author by, and we read this for a Once Upon a Read-Along book, and it's about a guy and a girl. In the beginning, they get trapped in this elevator during, like, a huge blackout in New York City, and I think that was, like, a real historical event. I just can't remember, if that actually happened or not, but it's just, again, another contemporary that I don't really like at all, and yeah, I don't really even know what to say. It's contemporary. It's boy and girl fall in love, go through issues, fall out of love, fall back into love. You know, that's every single contemporary book pretty much ever. There's just different reasons why they fell out of love and then fell back into love, basically, or different scenarios as to how they met or how they had to move apart. And it's just like the same thing over and over and over again. And I just can't connect with it. I can't do with it. I'm too old for that high school drama. I just don't want anything to do with it. And I think I gave this like a 1-star like review, and it was not my thing. Another really surprising one that I was really expecting to enjoy was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Now, I will have to say that the first half of this book I loved. I thought it was great. Darrow, I think, is the main character. I don't remember. Yeah, Darrow. He has to, I think, does it say on the back? His wife taken, yeah. So basically, like, his wife is taken, and he has to infiltrate Red Society, which is, like, the top society of this world, and he's, like, I don't know, a yellow, I don't remember what it's called, like, he's, like, the lowest tier society of this world, and they live on Mars, and, you know, infiltrating Red Society and becoming one of them, and like, what events lead to him having to do that was really good. It was, like, dystopian and super epic, and I just loved it. And then the second half of the book happened, and basically, he goes to the place where he is actually infiltrating Red Society, and it's like the military, and I hated it. It was like military tactics and doing these military training, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm so bored. And I like skimmed through a lot of it, and you know, so the first half I will say that I really did enjoy, and I enjoyed the first half so much that I'm going to read the second book, but like all the military tactics and training and all that stuff just bored the hell out of me, and I just really didn't like it. This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, another one that people are gonna like shoot me in the foot for, and I can't really say, like, I can't really put my finger on exactly what I didn't like about this book. I just know that I didn't connect with the characters. The story was so confusing. I remember I listened to the audiobook of this on the way back from Charleston with Desiree from the Mommy Gamers and her husband. We went to Y'all Fest together, and we listened to this audiobook, and like every 20 minutes, one of us had to pause it and be like, wait, what's going on, or what's happening, or clarify something. It was just so confusing, and I don't know. I was not a fan of this when after we got back from Y'all Fest, I wanted to read the second half of it, and I didn't like it at all, so that was unfortunate. And then a little known book that I read in 2016, I think it was like released in 2014, is called Under My Hat Stories or Tales from the Cauldron. And it's just like a compilation of books or short stories written by all sorts of different authors. And I read this for like Halloween time because it's like all about witches and everything like that. And there was 2 stories, I think there's like 13 or 14 stories in this book. 13 would make sense. I think there's 2 stories in there that I loved, like really, really loved, like that were amazing, that were so good. But the rest of them I hated. They were so bad. They were badly written. The characters were boring, and and because I only really liked 2 of the stories, I gave this like a 1 or 1.5 star. I don't remember, but it was just it was so hard to get through the rest of the stories because they were all just really, really bad, and I didn't enjoy them at all. Alright guys, this is like literally the hardest video for me to record every single year, so please don't hate me if one of your favorite books is on this list. We could still be friends. I'm sure that there is a book that we both have in common that we love. So let me know down in the comments below if any of these books are your favorite books, and then I'll comment back and forth, and then maybe we can find a book that we can both connect with, that we both love, and you know, we can stay friends. So yeah, definitely do that. Comment down below. Also check out the description for all of my links on social media. If you want to check out my most recent video, you can click right there, or if you'd like to subscribe, you can click right there, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!